Hello, my friends, and welcome back. The subject of today's video is little countries being used by bigger countries or simply feeling important, having a little paranoid moment when they think they're more important than they are. One of the two or both. And in this case, it's about Moldova. Moldova. And I will start with the title and go from there. So this article, for people who might not be familiar with Moldova, Moldova is an artificial created country by the Soviet Union. Yes, I said it. It's a country that, in the form it is now, it wasn't ever like that. It was a big Moldavia in the medieval times, and it was double the size, actually more than double the size. And in the 19 what before the first before the Second World War, so before the Second World War, it belonged to Romania, and then Stalin, before the Second World War, um, he gave Romania an ultimatum saying that you give us Moldavia, Basarabia, so-called, half almost of Moldavia, give it to us, otherwise we're gonna take care of you. Now Stalin and the Soviets claimed that it belongs to them somehow, and not only that, but it belongs the entire Moldova until the Carpathian Mountains in the west. It also belongs to them. So they thought, the Soviets, the communists, actually thought that they did Romanians a favor, asking only for Basarabia and Bukovina, and not the whole thing which they were entitled to according to their muscles, because it was not based on other things. So nevertheless, and then they created, the Soviets, Stalin created the Soviet Socialist Republic of Moldova. That's how it was created. After the collapse of Soviet Union in 1991, this Moldova remained as it was, created by Stalin and the communists. They did not unify back, came back to Romania, because Romanian government had some weasels that were obviously on the payroll of big guys. So that never happened. So from 1991 until 2022, 31 years, they were not able to unify. And I don't foresee that. So Moldova is something like that. There are Romanians, speaking Romanians, Romanian culture, who lived in the province of Moldavia, and so on. So call them Moldavians, call them Martians, call them Gugu Gugu, I don't care. The fact is, if I go over there and speak with them, Romanian, we understand 99%. It's not like, I don't know, um, I don't even know, like Russians and Ukrainians, or the Poles and Ukrainians, or the Slavic. We're so close, we're like, nevertheless. So we have this little country, I think it's about 4 million people, 5 million people, the same as the Baltic states, like this small. That means if you fly over and by mistake just lose a bomb, the whole thing is gone. So this is, we have these people who think that they're important. They have a president who makes uninformed, dangerous statements. But what do you expect? This is from Reuters, from April 19, 2022, and it says this, that President calls on Moldovans to shut Russian ribbon on May 9th. All right, for people who might don't remember what May 9th is the day when it's considered the end of the hostilities in Europe, and I think it's also considered the Europe Day or something like that. So these guys are putting together the Russian scuffle with Ukraine right now to vomit on a date that is much more significant than Putin, today's Russia, Ukraine, Zelensky, or whatever. It's so important, but they lose significance. They miss it. Why? Either are idiots, or they're just on a payroll of something. They have, or both. So let me go with this little article. Moldova's president called on Tuesday for people and opposition politicians to refrain from using Russian symbols during May 9th celebration to mark victory in World War II because Russian troops were killing civilians in Ukraine. It is possible to combine in the same symbol the memory of lives given for peace and the current inhumane war, President Maya Sandu told in a briefing. All right, well, uh, freedom of speech, freedom of expression, right? And it says here that last week Moldova's parliament voted to outlaw the ribbon of St. George in response to Russian aggression in Ukraine. Under the new law, anyone who makes, wears, or displays the striped ribbon faces a fine of at least 900 lei, it's $50, or 69 hours of community service. Moldova defends its neutrality and peace in society. That's what she said here. Yeah. And peace in society. That is why the symbol of the war waged against Ukraine are prohibited in the Republic of Moldova. I urge politicians to refrain from any provocation. Okay, so what are you going to do? Arrest me? Yeah, obviously, free country, neutral. You're not neutral. If you already do that, you're not neutral. That means you choose a side. Now it could be a moral side. It's a different story. But this is Saint George, the ribbon of Saint George. Is this done by Putin? Is this done by? They do the same thing with the Roman salute, because some idiots used the Roman salute for 15 years or so, and some crimes were committed, and some people used it, like they used uniforms. So are you gonna ban uniforms too because they wore uniforms while they were committing crimes? I told about this symbolistic. You can extend it to anything, to shirts, to whatever you want to extend it to. It's just how crazy you are. Now the Roman salute already is not a Roman salute. Is the party from 1930s German party salute. This salute was used by Romans from who knows 740 something BCE to until it collapsed in what 4 something, almost 500 CE. And all of a sudden these guys did something in 15 years and that, oh my God, we can't use that because they used it and we call it that way, not the Roman salute. And there's many other examples, like the Christian cross. Should we use the Christian cross? How many crimes were committed in the name of the Christian cross? And I said that in many examples. So stupid. But nevertheless, they do whatever they want. So in this case, they will ban St. George, a ribbon, because the Russian army is using it. They will do it in what? They say here about the 9th of May. The 9th of May has a bigger significance than these guys waging a war against those guys. I mean, I'm not saying it's not a tragedy, but which one is it? Second World War or this scuffle? It looks like a fight in a bar compared with Second World War tragedy and the First World War tragedy. And then here they build us, the guilt, and they tell us how many people died. And oh, it says here that the West and Russia vie for influence Moldova, a country of 3.5 million people, which depends on Russian energy and part of which has been controlled by Russia-backed separatists for more than 3 decades. Yeah, then what are they going to unite with Romania? No. And then we have Lithuania's parliament on Tuesday also voted to ban public display of St. George ribbon, the letter Z, and other symbols seen as expressing support to Russian invasion. Is seen as. So that's a matter of subjectivity and interpretation. So if I look at you and you wear a black shirt, I will say, oh my God, or whatever, a shirt, you know what I mean? I would say, oh, that's reminds me of those kind of guys that used to wear the black shirts when they used to do what they used to do. So therefore, you must be supporting that movement. Unbelievable. Children, man, these are children. So the ribbon of St. John's, first introduced as an honor by Catherine the Great, has gained significance in the Russian-speaking world since separatists in East Ukraine adopted it as a symbol of their support for Russia in 2014. So we have here Catherine the Great, and that's significance, and the Russian Empire after that, right? And then we have these guys using this for what? For 7 years already, or 8 years already. And oh my God, we should ban that one. I mean, these guys are not familiar with what Catherine the Great did. And not only Catherine the Great, everybody after Catherine the Great. Do you know some history here? I mean, how many people died because of these guys compared with separatist Russians in eastern Ukraine and the Russian invasion? No, it's talk about proportion. There's the proportion. And then again, the letter Z because Russia uses it. Okay, how about A and H? Are they banned too? Because that criminal was named, right? Those are his initials. Or JS, right? Joseph Stalin. How about that? If you go by this, these children are going to ban, you can ban anything you want. Anything. You can ban a knife, you can buy a fork, you can ban a fork, you can ban boots, anything you want. But I'm talking about this little 3.5 million people country as Lithuania, another one of 2.8, Estonia and Latvia, another ones that all together have what? 8.5 million people. That's why they are a big city. And they are so, aggressive in their little, if I would be I don't know, a Second World War Russian veteran, or let's say a son of one of those veterans that fought in the war, I would be offended by this. Really offended. Why? Because these guys are using it as everybody from Catherine the Great used it? Are you crazy? No, they're not crazy. They know what they're doing, or they're just dumb, or both. Well, Moldova, again, you are not a legitimate country. You belong somewhere else. That's my opinion. I can say it. Are you going to arrest me, make me work 69 hours of voluntary work, or charge me $50? Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.